In this lecture, I will demonstrate how to link a property from Google Search Console with Google Analytics and how to use it. I've opened Google Search Console here, and in Google Search Console I have added a website using a domain property and a second time using a URL prefix property. I did that to demonstrate that you can only link a URL prefix property with Google Analytics. Let's switch over to Google Analytics. Once you've linked your Google Search Console property with a Google Analytics property, you will be able to find the Google Search Console data in the Search Console section that's located in the Acquisition section. As we haven't linked the two properties yet, all the 4 reports from landing pages to queries are empty. Instead, Google Analytics displays a screen that asks us to set up the link between Google Search Console and Google Analytics. To establish a link between Search Console and Google Analytics, click the button labeled Set up Search Console Data Sharing. Once you click the button, Google Analytics will take you to the admin section, specifically to the property settings. Next, scroll down in the property settings screen until you find the area Search Console. Once you've located it, click the button Adjust Search Console. As you can see here, there is no Google Search Console property linked with Google Analytics. To link Search Console with Google Analytics, click the blue Add Link. Now Google Analytics will open a page from Search Console that contains all the properties from Search Console that you can link with the current Google Analytics property. And as you can see here, Google Search Console only displays the URL prefix property that you can tell by having a look at the beginning of the URL. It contains the HTTPS protocol, which clearly indicates that this is the URL prefix property. To link this URL prefix property with your current Google Analytics account, enable the radio button in front of the URL. Next, click Save. Now Google Analytics wants to have a confirmation that you want to add the association. To confirm that, click OK. Once you clicked OK, it may take a few seconds and you will be taken to the Google Search Console main screen. But that is not the page where we want to go. So let's switch back to Google Analytics. Google Analytics does not yet display the association that we've just added. We need to refresh the page to make that association visible. To refresh the page, simply click the URL in your browser and hit Enter. Once the page reloaded, you should be able to see the association that we've just added. If you don't see it, please wait a minute or two and then try to reload the page. And once you have linked the two properties, go to Acquisition, Search Console, and click Landing Pages. It may take up to 48 hours until Google Analytics displays the first data from Google Search Console. As I had linked this Google Analytics property with the corresponding Search Console property previously, the data is already there. To demonstrate what you can do with that data in Google Analytics, I'm switching to a different website and a different Google Analytics account. So this website already shows quite a bit of data from Search Console in Google Analytics. The landing pages report contains a table that lists the landing pages that you know from your Search Console account, along with all the well-known metrics like impressions, clicks, the click-through rate, and the average position. In addition to that, you get some Google Analytics data, like the number of sessions, the bounce rate, the pages per session, the goal completions, the goal value, and even the goal conversion rate. So you can clearly see and tell that this specific page has a conversion rate of 1.46% from organic search and drove a total of 3 conversions. If you want to see for which keywords a certain page was displayed in the search results, click the landing page in the first column. Now you can see a list of all keywords for which this specific page that you just clicked on was displayed in the search results. But unfortunately, you will only see the metrics that you already know from Search Console. You don't see the number of sessions, the bounce rate, the number of conversions, and the conversion rate that a specific keyword drove to your website. Yes, it would be truly awesome if Google Analytics would provide us that data, but unfortunately, it doesn't. If you want to go back to the overview in the landing page report, just scroll up and click the All link in the breadcrumb navigation. This will take you to the overview again, and you can see all of your landing pages. Next, you have the countries report. In the countries report, all the metrics are aggregated on a per country level, so you can see how many impressions you got in each of these countries, along with the clicks, click-through rate, and all the other metrics that I have already mentioned. If you want to see how single pages perform in a specific country, for example the United States, then click the country in the first column. Google Analytics will now display all the landing pages with the specific metrics for this country that you just clicked on. And again, if you want to see the keywords for a specific landing page, click the landing page in the first column. Here we are. These are the keywords. But please mind that you're seeing only the keywords for a specific landing page in a specific country right now. If you scroll up to the breadcrumb navigation, you can quickly switch to any other country. Simply click the drop-down arrow and select any country from the list. If you want to go back to the overview report again, click All. And the same principle applies to the devices report too. Let's click on Devices, and here you can see all the metrics aggregated for the 3 device categories: mobile, desktop, and tablet. Similar to the countries report, if you want to see the landing pages for a certain device category, click the device category in the first column. Google Analytics will now display the list of landing pages for this specific device category. And if you want to see the keywords, click any of the landing pages in the first column. These are the keywords for a specific landing page for the specific device category that you just selected. Just like in the landing pages and countries report, scroll up and you can switch to any other device category from the breadcrumb navigation, or click All to go back to the overview. And finally, there is the queries report. The queries report is quite similar to what you know from Google Search Console. It contains a list of all the queries and the metrics that you already know, like the clicks, the impressions, the click-through rate, and the average position. Unfortunately, and that is quite similar to the other Search Console reports in Google Analytics, you don't get to see any additional metrics like the sessions or the conversion rate. But here's a neat little trick. So for example, if you want to find variation keywords or want to analyze a keyword cluster, use the filter box up here. For example, we want to filter this report for all the keywords that contain the phrase long exposure. So just enter the phrase long exposure into the filter box and press enter. Now Google Analytics only displays these keywords. And that of course works in all the other Search Console reports that I just demonstrated. And here's the neat little trick. If you frequently analyze a certain set of keywords, like all the keywords that contain long exposure, you can use the Save Filter option to save the entire report, including its configuration, like all the set filters. So click Save and enter a meaningful name like Queries Long Exposure. Next, click OK. Now Google Analytics will take you to the Saved Report section that you can find under Customization. And if you click Saved Reports, then you will see a list of all the reports that you have saved this way. To reopen it, simply click it. And now Google Analytics will open the keyword query that we just created, and it automatically populates the filter bar and filters everything according to the setting of the filter bar. So you will only see the keywords that contain the phrase long exposure. I recommend to create such saved reports for the top keywords that you frequently analyze in Google Analytics. If you work with data from Google Search Console in Google Analytics, please mind one thing. That is that the Search Console data in Google Analytics may not be complete for the past 48 hours. So that means that the data for the last day and even for the day before may not be complete and change within the next days. Because of that, I recommend to exclude the past 48 hours from the date range selector up here. Otherwise, and if you don't mind that, you may draw the wrong conclusions. So, the 0 that we have here is not because we didn't get any traffic, but simply because of the data is not yet imported into Google Analytics. But you should see that data by tomorrow. And that is how you link Google Search Console with your Google Analytics account. Please remember that you currently can only link a Search Console URL prefix property with Google Analytics.